The Kingdom of Bahrain is located on the southwest coast of the Persian Gulf. The Al Khalifa family is a Sunni Muslim and non-religious like the leaders of the provincial states. In 1830, the ruling family signed a treaty establishing Bahrain as a Britain's protector. In 1970, with a US referendum, the people of Bahrain refused to join Iran. Bahrain became independent on 15 August 1971. Bahrain is a home the large of Islamic financial institutions in the Gulf and every field of Islamic finance.
Generally, Bahrain banking sector operate using a dual system where it consists of conventional and Islamic finance. In fact, their Islamic banking transaction has gradually captured the attention and shown tremendous growth over the recent years. It has been dubbed as the world Islamic finance pioneer and is widely recognized as the global figurehead in Islamic finance. Bahrain established the highest concentration of Islamic finance institutions that engage in almost every element of Islamic services and product, which include the 6 retail and 13 wholesale banks, 9 conventional banking with Islamic windows, 2 company for takaful, and 2 retakaful firms. It is also well known for being one of the world's most robust regulatory framework for Sharia-compliant practices. According to the Islamic Finance Report 2019, they are ranked first in the Middle East and North Africa region and second globally compete with other countries that offer Islamic finance services. Furthermore, Islamic banks authorized by the Central Bank of Bahrain are required to perform 3 essential functions. Among the features are the bank shall approve Sharia money placement or deposit, administer Sharia profit share investment product, and provide Sharia funding contract. Undeniable components such as the issuance of sukuk, takaful, and fintech are the most powerful indicator that contribute a lot to the economic growth of Bahrain. In terms of sukuk, Bahrain is a pioneer in the issuance including both short-term government sukuk and long-term instruments. It experienced a rise of USD 2.2 billion. Another alternative to increase the achievement for takaful is where the CBB has introduced a new takaful model. Hence, financial technology, which is also known as fintech, has brought significant changes into the Islamic finance industry in Bahrain. As a result, Central Bank of Bahrain's fintech regulatory sandbox has made an appearance for its Sharia-compliant cryptocurrency exchange, namely RAIN.
The first bank in Bahrain was established in 1923 when the East Bank, which Standard Chartered Bank, on its branch. As one of the powerful local authorities, Sheikh Isa bin Khalifa opposed the concept of modern finance and insisted that the institution should take a step back from the Sharia law, taking a long time to start banking service. In 1945, the British Middle East Bank branch opened. Until the 1970s, there were a number of international banks, mostly British, open branch in Bahrain. Next, in 1975, the government approved the offshore banking regulation, which allowed foreign banks to enter the market without being subject to local banking regulation. Soon after, in 1979, the first bank, Bahrain Islamic Bank, was licensed. Since then, Bahrain was held a large number of Islamic financial investments. And the last one, in 1997, the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance Center was established to introduce and promote the growth of Islamic banking and Islamic finance. The Bahrain Institute in Banking and Finance became very successful when the institution earned a degree and conducted training program in more than 15 countries.
Sukuk is a bond that meets Islamic religious law, usually referred to Sharia law, that correspond to a bond in a conventional bank. Conventional bonds are structured on the basis of debt, whereas sukuk are basically investment certificates consisting of ownership claim in an asset. Thus, claim embodied in sukuk is not simply a claim to cash flow, but also an ownership claim. The production of Islamic sukuk has been dominated by Bahrain, and the first to sell Islamic securities was the Bahraini government. The Liquidity Management Center (LMC) was found in Bahrain in 2002, and the purpose is to establish an active secondary market for Sharia-compliant treasury product for Islamic bank.
Okay, takaful in Bahrain. As we know, Bahrain's position has a midpoint of Islamic finance, respect of further than just its energetic Islamic banking sector. The growth of Sharia compliance lending has recent year drove the rapid growth of Bahrain takaful industry. In overall, the purpose in the takaful industry actually have a comparison to the conventional insurance industry. Both are appliance to help those who are unlucky due to the disaster. Okay, next, the history of market growth of insurance and takaful in Bahrain. By 2005, an inclusive regulatory framework have been applied for Manama's growing takaful insurance industry. Since that time, the fund has funded a variety of increased learning and training mission and functioning with industry contributor to progress new market value. According to CBB, the takaful market developed almost 14 times in terms of dividend between 2003 and the close of 2014.
Next, I will explain about fintech in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So basically, fintech has no specific definition, but regarding national digital finance, they explain that fintech is referred to an innovation in finance in a certain countries, which is I will explain about the fintech in Bahrain. So fintech is useful for society to develop a startup business and also increase their productivity of their business using fintech, online digital. So Islamic banking institution in Bahrain provide two online digital for people to use, such as online portal and digital banking that can use for a long term and easy for people uh, for anytime and anywhere to use it. So to ensure Bahrain in the right track of digital information, Islamic banking institutions have to ensure that fintech platform is secure and safe for people to use it for a long term. So for have a few challenge in of fintech personal information, which is first lack of lack of data protection law. So it can make the personal data is insecure. And second is lack of awareness and the cyber threat for people. So to avoid this challenge from getting worse, Islamic banking institutions have to ensure this fintech platform is secure and safe for people to use in the long term.
In a conclusion, it is a fact that in the last 2 decades, Islamic finance has shown great performance in Bahrain. There are several new Islamic banks, financing institutions, and financing companies have been established. In addition, there are many conventional banks use Islamic banking window. Islamic finance in Bahrain has a great opportunity to expand and grow as it already has a solid foundation and only needs to be adjusted with technological advance. Islamic finance and takaful is a developing worldwide phenomenon, funding absolutely and significantly to the world economy.